Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're the podcast where we take a whole stack of sources and really boil them down for you, helping you get informed fast.
That's the goal.
And today, we're diving into a truly gripping story. A real-life, high-stakes manhunt for the assassins of India's youngest prime minister, Rajiv Gandhi.
Yeah, it's an intense one. And our main source here is Anirudhya Mitra's book, 90 Days, The Hunt for Rajiv Gandhi's Assassins. Incredibly well-researched.
Absolutely. So our mission today, we want to unpack this book because it's a true crime thriller, yes, but it's much more.
Definitely more. It's a major historical document, really gives you insight into terrorism, how investigations work under pressure, justice, all in modern India.
Right. Think of this as your shortcut, your way into understanding a really critical, dramatic moment in recent history. So let's get started. The story obviously kicks off with the event itself, May 21st, 1991. Rajiv Gandhi assassinated at a campaign rally in Sri Perumbudur, Tamil Nadu. Just a shocking moment.
Truly shocking. And what the book really emphasizes early on is how it happened. This wasn't, a sniper or a conventional bomb.
No.
The killer was a suicide bomber, Danu. A woman, which was less common then, working for the LTTE, the Liberation Tigers of Tamil.
And the blast itself. Devastating.
Absolutely horrific. Gandhi and 14 other people were killed instantly. It sent shockwaves, globally.
Yeah.
But the key thing, and the book drills down on this, is that this wasn't just some random act of violence. It was planned.
A conspiracy.
Exactly. A very well-orchestrated international conspiracy. And its roots were tangled up in the whole geopolitical situation between India, Sri Lanka, and the LTTE. Really complex stuff.
So the killing of a former prime minister on Indian soil, the response must have been immediate and massive.
Oh, completely unprecedented. It triggered this huge investigation, basically a race against time. The CBI, India's Central Bureau of Investigation, set up a special investigation team, the SIT.
Right, the SIT.
Headed by D.R. Karthikeyan. And the book, 90 Days, it chronicles that hunt day by day over those 3 months. That's why it feels so tense, like a thriller unfolding in real time.
That's what really grabbed me, that structure. It reads like you're right there, a fly on the wall. How did Mitra manage that? Because, we know how it ends.
Yeah, that's the clever part. He just lays out everything, every clue, every dead end, every small win, every setback with such detail. You feel the pressure building. Like one of the first big things they had to tackle was the forensic work at the blast site. Just painstaking stuff.
Okay.
They're literally piecing things together from tiny fragments of clothing, human remains, looking at photos. This meticulous work was how they eventually identified Danu. It was crucial.
And you mentioned photos. There was one specific photograph that was a real game changer, wasn't there?
Oh, absolutely pivotal. A photographer at the rally happened to snap a picture literally seconds before the blast, and it clearly shows Danu approaching Gandhi.
Wow. Seconds before.
Yeah. Chilling, right, but incredibly valuable for the investigation. Suddenly, they had a face. In all that chaos, that one image gave them a concrete starting point. Almost unbelievable luck, in a way.
And the weapon itself, the suicide vest, the book goes into that too.
It does, and it's quite sobering. It gives you this insight into the LTTE's capabilities, their, technical know-how, and the sheer devotion of their cadres.
Sophisticated, you mean?
Very sophisticated for the time. The investigators had to basically reverse engineer the bomb components, figure out where they came from, and doing that piece by piece actually started to uncover this whole hidden network.
An underground network.
Yeah, operating across southern India. Yeah. It wasn't just Danu, it was a whole support system. The bomb wasn't just a weapon, it was like a signature of this organized, determined group.
So tracing the bomb parts helped crack open this LTTE network.
Yeah.
Who were the key players the SIT started focusing on?
Well, the book really highlights a few central figures in the planning and execution. There was this guy, Svarasan, they called him One-Eyed Jack. Ruthless, apparently very intelligent.
Okay.
And another operative named Supha. They were key planners. But tracking them and the wider network took incredible legwork by the CBI.
How did they do it? What kind of clues?
Oh, everything. Things like rental agreements for safe houses, telephone call records, which were harder to trace back then, remember?
Sure.
Photography studio negatives became important, intelligence intercepts, just relentless old-fashioned police work connecting tiny dots, really impressive stuff.
And this whole chase, this massive manhunt, it eventually leads to this dramatic climax in Bangalore, right?
Yeah, that's where it all kind of comes to a head. Savara San and his core team were finally tracked down and cornered in a house in Bangalore.
And the book describes that standoff.
Vividly. It was incredibly tense. But instead of a shootout, which maybe you'd expect, the LTTE operatives inside chose to commit suicide. They used cyanide capsules.
A common LTTE tactic.
Exactly. It was their way of avoiding capture. So the raid ends with their deaths. It's a conclusion to the manhunt, in one sense, but also a really haunting end. Leaves you thinking about the fanaticism involved.
It does, and that brings up a really important theme in the book, doesn't it? This idea of justice.
Yeah.
What happens when the main culprits, the bomber and the masterminds like Savarasan, are dead?
That's a central question 90 Days really forces you to grapple with. What does justice even mean in a case like this? The book shows it's not neat.
No clean ending.
Not at all. The investigation didn't just stop with Savarasan's death. There was this whole broader network of collaborators, safe housekeepers, logistics people.
Right.
So the next phase became arresting them, putting them on trial, a long, complex judicial process. The book suggests justice here isn't a single event, but this drawn-out, morally complex effort to dismantle the network. And even then, questions remain.
It makes you think. And beyond the investigation itself, the book touches on the massive political impact of the assassination in India.
Oh, fundamentally. It shook the entire political system, especially the Congress Party, obviously. But it also forced a hard look at national security.
How so?
Well, the book provides context, going back to India's intervention in Sri Lanka a few years earlier with the IPKF, the Indian Peacekeeping Force.
Right, that whole difficult period.
Exactly. And that intervention, had unintended consequences. It ended up alienating the LTTE, making them see India and Rajiv Gandhi specifically as an enemy. The assassination wasn't out of the blue. It was partly blowback from that complex history.
That led to changes in security thinking.
It had to. It exposed vulnerabilities. It definitely spurred a reevaluation of intelligence gathering, VIP protection, counterterrorism strategy. The whole works.
And the investigation itself, the 90-day operation, it serves as a sort of case study, doesn't it, on how Indian law enforcement and intelligence agencies work, or maybe didn't work perfectly?
Yeah, it's both. On the one hand, you see this incredible coordination during the crisis. The SIT brought together the CBI, local police forces, intelligence bureaus, forensic teams, working flat out under immense pressure. It shows what's possible. Yeah. But the book is also critical. It points to a lack of effective interagency coordination before the assassination. Were there warnings missed? Could better intelligence sharing have prevented it? It suggests there were systemic weaknesses, critical gaps that maybe made the assassination possible. It's a tough lesson.
So putting it all together, what makes 90 Days really stand out? Why this book?
I think it's Mitra's background as a journalist combined with, frankly, a thriller writer's pacing.
Yes.
It's nonfiction, meticulously sourced, but it reads like a page-turner.
Even though we know the outcome.
Exactly, which is so hard to pull off. He does it with that day-by-day structure, building suspense. He clearly had amazing access, confidential sources, official records, which gives it real authenticity. And he doesn't just focus on the procedural stuff. He brings in the human element, the psychological toll on the investigators. It feels balanced, informative, but also quite moving in parts.
And the people involved, the characters in this real-life drama, they really come alive. Who stands out?
Oh, definitely. Savara-san, One-Eyed Jack, is portrayed as this chillingly effective mastermind. His tactics, his evasion, his end. It's quite compelling in a dark way.
Right.
Then you have Dr. Karthikeyan, the SIT chief. He comes across as this calm, focused leader holding it all together. Very admirable.
And the investigators on the ground.
Absolutely. The book is really a tribute to them. So many unnamed or lesser-known officers who just worked relentlessly, often in dangerous situations, chasing down leads. Their dedication is palpable.
It feels like even though this happened decades ago, the themes in 90 Days are still incredibly relevant today. What are the big takeaways for now?
That's so true. I mean, sadly, the threat of terrorism, suicide bombings, targeted political violence, that hasn't gone away, has it? The book is a powerful reminder that democracies need to be constantly vigilant against extremism, and that fighting it is incredibly complex, rarely straightforward.
And the importance of remembering.
Yeah, that too. Public memory fades. But revisiting events like this, understanding the context, the investigation, the consequences, it's crucial. These aren't just history lessons. They inform how we face similar challenges today.
So for you, our listener, what's the final word on 90 Days? I'd say it's essential. It's a time capsule, yes, but also a gripping crime story. and a deep political analysis all in one package.
Totally agree. If you have any interest in Indian history, true crime, how major investigations work, geopolitics, or just outstanding journalism, you really should read it.
It's educational, it's compelling, it's a tribute to a lot of hard work.
And also, yeah, a sobering look at how fragile things can be, how quickly peace can be shattered. It definitely leaves you thinking.